Welcome to Joy of Business Radio, hosted by Joy of Business facilitators from around the world, with special shows from Simone Milasas, the founder and creator of Joy of Business. Are you bored or dissatisfied with your work or business? Joy of Business is an invitation to a completely new way of creating. Did you know your business and job can actually be fun and joyful? If what you are currently doing isn't working for you, listen into this show full of pragmatic tools from Access Consciousness, which change everything in business, from money to finance, staff, creativity, productivity, communication, and beyond. Joy of Business Radio, weekly on OMTimes Radio.
Hello, Laurence. How you doing? Paul Kearney here, and welcome to the Joy of Business business show. So it's great to have you on, and look forward to our talk today, which is going to be about making money and having fun with your business. So, Laurence, when did you get started in business?
Hi, Paul. I'm so happy to be here with you and having this conversation about business and money and fun. I started about 3 years ago, and before that I was working for a big telecommunication company, so I was an employee, and now I am a CIO. CEO, sorry.
A CEO of what?
A CEO using Access Consciousness tools and doing some coaching for business people, from the employee to the boss of a company, and it's also about coaching for business as well. And what about you?
Yeah. So for me, I spent 15 years in the corporate sector, so I did international sustainability projects all around the world with large global players. And I've recently taken over as Managing Director for Europe for Access Consciousness International Limited, and that's been great fun. I've really enjoyed it. And it's a totally different way of doing business, and that's what I'd like to explore tonight with you, because there's a level of enthusiasm and a level of joy in your world, which makes business so much fun. And yeah, I'm excited to see where we go with this call.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Amazing. Yes. And business Access Consciousness tools apply to business. It's very amazing, and I'm so grateful for that. And what about having fun while creating money in your business?
Yes, exactly. And what I see a lot in business, I do a lot of consultancy with small-sized companies, medium-sized companies, and large companies. And a lot of the time, people believe that money and fun cannot go together. So you can either have fun and not make money, or you can make money and be very serious. And we see in the corporate sector where it becomes very serious, and what happens is it's so serious, people start to get sick, they don't have fun, and they get very stressed out, and burnout is becoming a big issue in relation to business at present. And that's because people are doing not what they love to do. So it's actually looking at what's fun for you to do, what gives you joy, and what makes it enjoyable. So what brings joy to you, Laurence?
Yes, and joy is the main key in your job, in your activity. It's very important to be joyful and to do something you love to do. And for me, it's transmit information, transmit my skills and what I have just learned, and explain that to people and show them how they can use something, or how they can apply that in their life, and so on. So for me, I'm very joyful when I can assist people with their job, what they are doing, and choosing their life. So it's
yes.
very funny to do that and very joyful for me. I'm so grateful. And especially when I see people discovering what they could do, what is very, what makes them vibrate a lot.
Yes,
and
exactly. And for me, I think it is it's going into the question. So what I see with business so often is that people go to the conclusion of, this is how this company makes money. So Kodak is a prime example. They made money making cameras, and then the iPhone changed the industry completely, but they never moved. And it's actually being willing to look and say, okay, what's required here? And going into the question. So continually being in the question of everything. Question, have you got the right people in your organization? Are you going in the right direction? Where would you want to be in 5 years? Where do you want to be in 10 years? Have you got a strategy? And actually looking at what's required to make the business grow and develop. Because when you go into the question, you can explore different possibilities, look at new things and say, okay, what's required here? And from a pragmatic point of view, a lot of the time it may be simple things, but it's actually looking and saying, okay, what does this business require? And sometimes the business requires to be closed down. It's done its time. It's been a brilliant business. It's time to wrap it up. There's other times when businesses want to explode and they want to expand dramatically. And it's a different set of skills that are required, and it's knowing what's required and who to add to your business. So it's always looking at, not about, a lot of the time in business now, we're looking at culling, so they're looking at removing people, and it's not about removing people, it's about what you can add to your business. So what other income streams can you add? And that's counterintuitive to what's happening in business at present. Mainstream business is a lot of cut costs. So cut costs. But the thing is, it doesn't actually create more, so it's looking at adding income streams. So continually looking at what's possible here, where can we add income streams, how can we add income streams, what's required in each part of that process, so that you're very clear and that there's a level of clarity in terms of what's required.
Oh, yes. Mm-hmm. And by asking questions, you can perceive what are the possibilities, what can be done next, and move very quickly to something different, especially if you don't have any point of view of what the result should be, and just by asking questions you move and you can another point is to do whatever is required in any situation. What is required there? What contribution can I be for my business? Could be some questions you can ask.
Yes.
To get some clarity about what is required from you, and to move on with your business and expand it. Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Yeah. And can you speak a bit more, Laurence, about the concept of having no point of view about the outcome? Because a lot of time in business, I see people, they say, okay, this is where we want to get to, and they end up limiting themselves because they don't see all the possibilities, and they end up saying, okay, we want to grow 2% this year, when maybe they could grow 20%. Can you speak about having no point of view about the outcome?
Yeah. Often in companies or people in their lives choose something and I've already imagined what can be the result. And if this result is not here, if it is not exactly what they have imagined or decided, they say it doesn't work. I'm wrong. I did some bad things and I decided the wrong things, and now I'm in trouble, for example. And what if instead of deciding what could be the result or what should be the result, you just ask for the best result to be there for you, and just by choosing. It's not about decision, it's about choosing something and see what could be created with that. And when you don't decide what could be the result, what can be the result, you open the door to some different possibilities. You open the doors to something bigger, and then you get something completely different. And sometimes it could be uncomfortable to get something you didn't imagine you could. And at the end, when you look at that, it was exactly what was required and what makes you more, make you happier and having your business growing more and more. So instead of making decision on anything, just ask questions and let possibilities come to you and come to your mind to have some other results. It's quite new to talk about that, I think. And it's quite different. It's different.
Yeah. Completely different, and I think as well it's a very valid point that you make about willing to be uncomfortable, because if you're going to pioneer something and do something new or do something different, then there is going to be periods where it's going to be extremely uncomfortable. And I was speaking to a business executive in the last couple of days, and her company was doing large volumes of plastic bottling, and the option came for them to do recycled bottles. So it was going to cost them $1.5 million to change their machines to use recycled plastic. And if they didn't do it, the government in that country was going to fine them €1 million. But because the CEO, the only thing that she was focused on was the P&L, so she was too concerned to make the courageous decision, because if she went to recycle plastic, they would have been the first in their industry to do it, and they would have got a lot of positive PR. But the only thing she saw was the possible loss of $500,000. So it does take courage to be brave and have courage in your convictions. I think that's very important, because sometimes people think, having fun is all about being lighthearted, but it's also there is a tenacity required, and there's also a courage required to be able to make those changes. Have you found that, Laurence?
Oh yes, and about courage and be brave, yes, and have fun with that, to be the pioneers and to choose something different and make things greater than they were before. So it's also about asking questions of what could be a bigger contribution in your business, and get some idea or some perception of what it could be. Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Yes, so we'll continue this after the break.
Yeah.
No one needs to have a money problem, especially you.
Yeah, did you hear that? You have an unlimited and mostly unaccessed capacity to create money and a financial reality that works for you. Simone Milasas has a brand new book. It's called Getting Out of Debt Joyfully. And right now, when you go to gettingoutofdebtjoyfully.com, if you pre-order the book, you'll get a free online course. What if you can create money in ways no one else can? Just go to gettingoutofdebtjoyfully.com to get your copy today.
Host your show on IOM FM, the radio network of OMTimes Media, one of the more recognized brand names in the conscious community, and is backed by the extensive marketing reach of OMTimes. Hosting a show on IOM FM immediately connects you with our extensive dedicated community.
Aloha, my name is Jennifer O'Neill, and I'd like to invite you to come join me every Wednesday at 10 a.m. Hawaii Standard Time for my show, Spirit Chat. Spirit Chat focuses on simplifying the process of using the spiritual tools and gifts you were born with in a way that fits into your everyday life. I also teach different techniques that will help you learn how to navigate the spirit realm and empower you on your own spiritual journey. So join me this Wednesday as I guide you through the spirit world.
The number one reason girls drop out of school in sub-Saharan Africa is lack of access to feminine hygiene products. The Pads for Schoolgirls Project, an outreach of Humanity Healing International, is changing this paradigm by setting up sewing programs at schools, teaching girls a vocational skill while producing the reusable pads that help keep them attending classes. The girls pay it forward by making and giving pad kits to other girls in need. To learn more, visit humanityhealing.org. Humanity Healing is where your heart is. The cutting edge of conscious radio, OMTimes Radio, IOM FM.
Hello and welcome. This is Paul Kearney here with Laurence Favier, and we're discussing making money and having fun with your business. So, Laurence, what would be the number one way that you bring more fun into your business?
The first way, the first idea is that to acknowledge that money follows joy. It's quite strange,
Wow.
but
Yeah.
it's the way that works. So having money following joy, so you don't have to be joyful to get money. You first have to be joyful and sorry. You have to be at first joyful, and then money will come. It's not the opposite. And when you begin to acknowledge that, the idea is to ask questions, like we said previously, and looking for joy. For example, what can I do today that will bring me joy with total ease, for example? And then asking this kind of question, you can follow what is light for you, for example, what is like an evidence for you, and that will bring you some or a lot of joy. And then having fun with what you are doing will participate to bring money in your life. So, what else is possible with this idea?
Yes. Well, and it's quite an incredible concept, because a lot of people think that when they become rich, they'll become happy, and so they work all their life trying to find this retirement fund or whatever it may be, and then they end up not being happy, doing a job that they don't love, and end up being poor. And it's like, it's actually a completely different way to look at it. So what you were saying was that money follows joy. So what you should actually be looking for is to be joyful, and when you're joyful, then the money comes along. So the money is almost like a side effect of the joy, and it's looking at, and it could be anything. It could be going for a walk in nature, or dancing in the rain, or going swimming. Whatever makes you feel alive, makes you feel joyful, makes you feel happy. And the money may not necessarily turn up in pounds, pennies, and pence. It can turn up in a different way. It could be somebody gifts you a car, or anything can happen. Anything is possible. Because I found that so many times with business, that it's like it's the most unusual possibilities can show up when you're open to them. And it's, as we said in section 1, it's always being in the question of what's required, but then looking at what really brings you joy, what really makes you happy. Because when you follow what brings you joy, it's light for you, and more joy comes along. So it's actually being lighthearted with your team, making it fun, because people want to work in fun environments where it's fun and enjoyable to work in. So how have you found that, Laurence, for your own business in terms of bringing more fun in? How do you do it?
in fact, I created my business with the idea that now, after more than 30 years of work as an employee, now the idea is to have fun in my new job. So I created my own job, and the idea was to discover what brings me joy when I am at work, and the idea is for each people to do what they love. And for example, it could be something you do very quickly or very easily, and it's so easy for you that you think it's the same for other people, but in fact no, people don't do the same things as you. And when you do something you love, it's very easy, it's very quick. And what about getting paid for that? So it can be a lot of things. It can be going outside, having a walk with dogs, for example, making cookies, a lot of different things that make you happy and that are very easy for you. And then you can create, what would it take to have a business about that one thing, or maybe there are a lot of things like that, but at least one thing, and then you create a business, you get money with what you love, and you get paid for that, and it's so easy. Maybe it's too easy for you.
Wow.
Sometimes we think business. A lot of time people think business has to be hard and complicated and difficult and heavy, but what? And in the contrary, what could we create to have fun and to do something that is very easy for us? And what about you, Paul?
Yeah. Yeah, no, totally. That's an amazing concept, really. That it's like you look at what brings you joy, and then you follow that and see what's easy for you to do. Because a lot of the time, what happens is people say, okay, I'm going to become a solicitor and I'm going to make lots of money. I'm going to become a doctor and I'm going to make lots of money. I was talking to a doctor recently, and he studied for like 10 years. He became top of his field. He was a surgeon. He was really highly regarded. And then he realized he didn't want to do it. And he stepped out and he started looking at other things and started exploring loads of things. But like his family, his friends, everybody thought that he'd gone crazy. And they were all like, oh, this guy has gone crazy. He's given up his career. But he started working more in kind of energetics and the energy healing field, but he's still using all the skills, because the universe has your back. So the universe wants you to be happy, wants you to be joyful, and it's always looking to support you. So for me, it's like one of the things that I love is I love talking to people. So I absolutely love to talk to people. So like doing radio shows, doing bookshops, doing seminars, they're all fun for me because I meet lots of people, I can talk to them and have a laugh, and it's enjoyable. And now more so I see, wow, there's a skill in connecting with people. So being able to connect with people, being able to talk to people, making people comfortable, making people feel cared for and nurtured and looked after, and that's a skill, and it's something that I didn't acknowledge about myself. And now that I start acknowledging it, I start making more business, because people say, hey, do you want to be on this project, or do you want to be on this project, or do you want to be on this project? And it becomes very easy and lots of fun. And then when you do things that are fun for you, the money starts to come along. And sometimes there can be a delay because you're asking for something to show up, and the universe is kind of rearranging everything to make sure that it shows up. So it's making sure that you don't think. Sometimes it'll turn up really quickly. Other times it may take a bit more time. I think one thing on this journey is also to be patient and be very kind to yourself, because the thing is, a lot of the time we can be kind to other people, but we can't be kind to ourselves. And if we can't be kind to ourselves, then it makes it very difficult, because if we can't be kind to ourselves, who can possibly be kind to us?
Oh, yes. It's a great question.
Yeah.
To realize that, yes, and to be aware of that, yes, exactly. And and be aware of what is nurturing for us is also very important. To get to take care of ourselves, like you said, yeah.
Yeah, well, it's interesting because a lady was telling me recently about the CEO of the company she works for, and he does martial arts, and he loves martial arts, but because he thought the people would judge him, he stopped doing martial arts, because he said, if people found out that I was doing karate or I was doing tai chi, they think I'm a weirdo. And it's like, the thing is, that was very nurturing for him, but it was also empowering for him. It was a discipline, and he got a lot from it. And it's like, it's important to do the things that bring you joy, because life is very short. It's over in the blink of an eye. And it's like, I recently turned 40 and I still only feel like I'm 19. But for me, that's a good sign, because I'm still enjoying life and having a lot of fun and having a lot of laughter. And it's important to have that laughter. So if you have that sense of fun, that sense of joy, then anything is possible.
Exactly. Mm-hmm.
And what else brings you joy, or what else brings you fun, Laurence?
It is to take care of me more than I did before.
Okay.
To have something. Maybe we are on the. No, it's okay.
No, it's okay. It's okay. Go for it. Yeah, go for it.
And I have the idea to, for example, to take care or to do something I like very much, at least 1 hour a day, and 1 day a week, if possible. It can be very huge to do that, but at least 1 hour a day to do something different and to do something just for me, just for to have fun and be confident and to get more ease. Yes.
We'll continue after the break.
Mm-hmm.
Have you ever wondered how to change your love paradigm? The secret key is finding a love partnership, not just a regular connection. How do you find these? Through conscious relationships. Ascending Hearts Dating is a dating site for people like you that believes in second chances and a different type of spiritual connection. Try Ascending Hearts for free today at ascendinghearts.com and change your love paradigm. Ascending Hearts, the premier dating community for the spiritually awake.
Tune in to the Practical Intuitive, Mind, Body, Spirit for the Real World with me, host Robin Fritz, Mondays at 2 p.m. Pacific, 5 Eastern. I'll cover personal and business intuition, animal communication, mediumship, space clearing, past life regression, shamanic insights, energy healing, soul choice, and more, all to help you tap your own intuitive and healing skills. No ifs, ands, or buts.
Host your show on IOM-FM, the radio network of OMTimes Media, one of the more recognized brand names in the conscious community, and is backed by the extensive marketing reach of OMTimes. Hosting a show on IOM-FM immediately connects you with our extensive dedicated community.
Putting the fun back in business. Wake up, go to work, come home, watch TV, go to bed, repeat. Business, work, your job. Hate it, bored, want to leave it? Or business, work, your job, fun, play, joy, fun. Which would you like to choose? You may not know this, but business, your job, work can actually be fun. Shake up your business routine. Check out my 3-part free video series on putting the fun back in business. Go to accessjoybusiness.com/fun and put the fun back in business.
Connecting you with the best of the conscious minds in the world. OMTimes Radio. IOM FM.
Hello, this is Paul Kearney here, and you're at the OMTimes Joy of Business radio show. And I'm having a fascinating conversation with Laurence Favier in relation to making money and having fun with your business. So, Laurence, before the break, you were saying about the importance of nurturing yourself and putting time aside for you. So, 1 hour a day and 1 day a week, was that correct? And could you speak a bit more about that, please?
Yes, thank you, Paul. Yes, the idea is to have time for you, to have time for what you like to do, for going for a walk, cooking, painting, or swimming, having a gymnastic session. Anything you like to do, just take the time to do that. It's very important, and it's very important as well for not being stressful and get more maybe more clarity in your job. When you take time for you, you will have you will be more focused on your work when you get back to work. So maybe you can think, I will lose time if I go to the swimming pool, for example. But in fact, if you enjoy your swim, it's very important to see that when you get back to work, you are more relaxed, and maybe new ideas will come in your mind, and you will create something different or something new. And in fact, it was not lost time. You gain a lot of things by taking care of you every day. Are you doing that, Paul?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yes, yeah. It's an area I actually do a lot of work with executives and directors on, because oftentimes what happens is directors become so focused on growing the business, they forget about themselves or forget about their family. And I often divide it into 4 sections. So just draw a sheet of paper and draw 2 lines to make it into 4 quarters. 1 is your business, 1 is your life, 1 is your family or relationship, whatever that may be, and 1 then is things that are really enjoyable for you that you love to do. And it's what happens, I find, is that people forget the things that bring them joy, and then they stop doing them. And when they stop doing them, then they have this void in their life. And the same with any job. You can end up working 100 hours a day, like just end up working non-stop, but it's like it actually takes the joy out of it, because you become tired and you don't have perspective. And when people lose perspective, they get very stressed out over something small that happens, rather than being able to see the bigger picture, because people are going to choose what they're going to choose. You never know what they're going to choose, but they'll choose whatever they choose, and ultimately all it is a choice. So they've chosen something, and it's like we get lost in this paradigm of right or wrong, so that things have to be right or things have to be wrong. And if we're going to make something wrong, that means that somebody else. So if I'm going to be right, that means you have to be wrong, or somebody else has to be wrong. It's actually been able to look at it from a very inclusive point of view, and being able to see all aspects of the business and see what's required, and say, okay, what's actually required for the business today? And it's looking at the bigger picture and seeing, okay, to grow this business, do I need to make this investment? Do I need to spend time here? Do I need needing more people here, and it's almost like a horse whisperer. You know, when people can talk to horses, it's like there's an ability. You can talk to anything in the universe, and if you have the ability to receive and listen to what the response is, it's being willing to actually listen to your business and see what your business requires, but also listen to your family, see what your family requires, listen to your body, see what your body requires, and listen to you and see, okay, what does you, the being, want to do? What's important for your soul or for your upkeep in terms of your spirit and your well-being. And when people lose perspective on that, life can become very grey, and then you don't have much fun, and it's like we end up getting into a circle of continual life and continual work, and that's very important, to be able to see the bigger picture and see what's required to make more fun in my life. Because a lot of time people have the idea if they work harder they'll get paid more. That's not always the case. Sometimes you can do a little bit of work, but it's very joyful and it brings you loads of returns. So it's knowing what actually works for you as an individual.
Mm-hmm. I love the idea to look at the bigger picture. Yeah. When you become more stressed and you can't anymore see the bigger picture, and it's important to have a step back, maybe it's the right word, and have a look, or maybe to climb in an helicopter and see the bigger picture, see the real big thing for your company, for example, and it's very important to have this bigger picture in mind, and not only focused on what you are doing each day, and maybe you can be stopped by something, and in fact it's just a little thing to avoid or to get around, and then you go to something bigger, and you allow that to move faster and bigger. So and again, another thing I would love to talk about is when you are only focused on your job and doing whatever it requires, and without taking care of yourself, maybe your body at a moment will begin to hurt, and you maybe get pain in your body if you don't take care of you and if you don't take care of your body. And this pain will become bigger and bigger, and at the moment you won't be able to work at all. So it's important to take care of you and having fun with something in your life, doing things you love, and then you can be better in your work, in fact.
Yes, yeah. And what do you think pain is? Like, obviously, everybody experiences pain. Like, if a hammer falls on your foot, you experience a pain. But what do you think, Laurence, pain actually is?
It could be, at the beginning, it could be just a little pain, which will become bigger and bigger if you don't take care of it, if you don't pay attention to it. For example, if you have some pain in your knee, for example, you think, oh, it's okay, I will work a little and then it will be okay. And afterwards, this pain becomes bigger, and you have to go to the doctor, for example, and to take some drugs and medicine, and the pain becomes bigger and bigger, and you can't walk anymore, for example. You have to go to surgery, and so it's important to take care of that and to listen to these little signs. In fact, before they become too big. too big, and then you can no longer manage or deal with them. So it's important to take care and to be aware of that.
Yeah, and I think as well being willing to listen to your body, because a lot of the time your body gives you information. It gives you very detailed information, but it's instantaneous. So it's like when you have a gut feeling not to go ahead with something, so it's like, oh, it feels tighter or something not right. It's looking and seeing, okay, what's my body telling me here? And it's like, whatever it may be. So it's looking at the individual components and seeing, okay, what's required here and what's the next step. And it's looking continuously and seeing, okay, what's my body telling me? Because your body is always telling you, okay, don't do this, do this. And a lot of the time we shut down our body, and rather than listening to our body, what happens is when we shut down our body, we shut down our knowing, we shut down our awareness, because our body is extremely aware. And when we shut down that awareness, we lose so much intelligence, because we lose our body intelligence. And you can see a lot of people in business, they're very disconnected from their body, and it's like, when your body is giving you a message, it's telling you something, and it's like, okay, something needs to change here. And it's actually being willing to listen to that and listen to your body, and you can actually commune with your body and talk to your body and say, and you can, as I said earlier, you can commune with anything. Like you can talk to animals, you can talk to trees, you can talk to anything in the universe, and it's like, it's being willing to actually listen and receive to the message, because oftentimes you see great builders or engineers, and they'll tell you that the house talks to them. Okay, I want to change this or change this, and everyone thinks, oh, they're complete weirdos. But like the brilliant artists, the brilliant architects, the brilliant designers, they actually talk to their creations and say, okay, what's required? What do you want to change? Is there something that's required here? And then looking and saying, okay, what do we need to change? What do we need to change? What do we need to change? And continually being in that question all the time.
Yeah. And when you don't take care to what your body says to you, you lose joy very quickly, because you begin to experience pain, and then the joy goes away. And so if you go back to joy in business, and making money, you have to take care of your body. You have to listen to it and be aware of what he always says to you, or he whispers to you. Yes.
Yes, we'll explore further after the commercials.
Yeah.
What do you hate about business? And do you want to change it? If you don't want to change anything about your job or business, stop listening. You're all good. If you'd like to have money just for the fun of it and stop the negative self-talk, check out Joy of Business. This is about knowing what you know about business and creating more than you can imagine. Access Joy of Business 101 classes offered around the world. Go to accessjoyofbusiness.com/101.
As difficult as it is to believe, there are places in Africa where human traffickers sell albino children and their body parts for use in magic rituals. Humanity Healing International is actively working in Uganda to change this paradigm. The Albino Rescue Project finds albino children who are at risk and places them in safe schools and environments where they can learn and grow free from fear. To learn more or to sponsor a child, visit humanityhealing.org. Humanity Healing is where your heart is. Are you trying to get from point A to point B and need a little advice? Connect with the counselors at OMTimes Advisors. Whether you're looking for a life coach or a spiritual intuitive, the advisors participating at advisors.omtimes.com were carefully chosen based on their gifts, skills, and professionalism. OMTimes Advisors, connecting you with the best advisors in the business.
Hello, I'm Lisa Berry. Join me every Monday at 1 p.m. Eastern Time for Light on Living, a chance to see new, hear different, and feel more as I shine the spotlight on all the ways to lighten the load of life's challenges. Light on Living is your link to that new way you're looking for, that new understanding that will enhance your life, and that positive connection that will support your growth. So join me, and you'll gain insight and start to see things in a new way that motivates you.
Your conscious connection to a more mindful world. OMTimes Radio. IOM FM.
Hello, this is Paul Kearney here, and I'm here with Laurence Favier, and we're discussing making money and having fun with your business. So, Laurence, before the call, before the break, you were saying about the importance of listening to your body and making time for your body. And what brings you fun with your body?
A lot of things. I like to swim in rivers, in the mountain. So some quite cold river. I don't know the name. With a lot of water. Like a glacier.
Yes.
Yeah, and I like this kind of landscape, and I have fun with that. And every time I can do that and go there, I'm very happy with that. And I enjoy having just a walk in the countryside around my area, and looking at the trees and the flowers, and this brings me joy and help me to create something different and something new, to get ideas, to get new ideas to do something, or to add to my business, or maybe to have the idea to call someone and talk about a new creation, or something like that. But when I am outside, I can easily create something new. And what about you, Paul?
Yeah, for me, I enjoy movement, so I love Tai Chi, I love yoga, I love dancing, I love running, I love swimming. It's like a lot of movement. I like my body is quite energetic, so I like to move. I like to spend time in nature, and it is I like food. I like food a lot. I like eating food, and it's before, it's funny, I used to be very strict on my diet, and I used to be like vegetarian and only eat fish and do all these things, and it's like now, as I become more relaxed with my body, I can just, every day is different. So it's like, for me, one of the big things one day was when I was in a petrol station and I was getting petrol for my car, and I was like, oh, have a cappuccino, and I was like, oh no, I don't drink caffeine, and and I had these very strict rules. I was like, okay, let's just have a coffee today. And I had the coffee today, and it was so beautiful, it was delicious, and it was like, just in this 10 seconds, I'm going to enjoy this so much. And it's like, so often we set rules for ourselves around our bodies. You can do this, and you can't do this, and this is right, and this is wrong. And the thing is, when you set those rules, then you end up putting yourself into a box, and that box ends up becoming smaller and smaller. And it's actually knowing what works for your body and what's required for your body, because I'm just finishing a conference here in Marseille in France, and this lady Joelle Moore, who was one of the hosts of the class, she brought local cheeses and a famous wine that had been stored at 60 meters under the ocean to allow it to mature, and grapes, and it brought so much joy, because the whole team, after we had all the pack up done, like there was a lot of work in getting all the AV equipment down, and the chairs and the tables, and everybody sat down and we did the breakdown, and then everybody sat down and had the cheeses and had the wines, and it was lovely, and we had jokes and we had a really nice time. And then the guy came who was taken down the stage, and him and his son were working really hard. And then we were finished, and we were going to go away. And we said, "Oh, what will we do with the cheese?" And then we said to the man and his son, "Oh, would you like to have the cheese?" And they were so happy because they got cheese and apples and grapes, and it was like it created so much more. But it was the enthusiasm of Joelle to get the cheeses and to get the grapes and to get the really good wines, and it's that enthusiasm for living that creates more, because when you have that enthusiasm in life and you're willing to explore things and be adventurous and look for new things, like she had to go to different cheese manufacturers, she had to go to different vineyards, she went to a lot of effort per se to do these things, but that level of joy came across, and you could see it very clearly that she was creating something that was wonderful. And I think my challenge for anybody who's listening to this call is to find something that's joyful for you and do it today. Just whatever it is, whether it's going for a swim in the ocean or being very brave like Laurence and just going swimming up in the glacier lakes, but it's just doing whatever brings you joy, yeah. And Laurence, if you had one takeaway that you could give people from this call, one thing that they should do to bring more joy into their business, what would it be?
Is to think about themselves at first, and like I said previously, having 1 hour a day doing something they'll really love to do, whatever it is, and do it every day. Doing it each day. It's very important to take care and to think about you. And it's not lost time. It's not losing time. It's you lose some time, and then you will gain time in another way, because you will be more. We will get more ease in your body. You will get more fun, more joy, and then you will have more idea, or you will be more quick in your tasks, for example. So it's very important to have that in your mind and to think about it every day.
Yeah. I think that's a really important point. It's actually you are your business, and your business is you. So it's actually if you're not involved in your business and you're sick or you can't attend it or whatever it is, it's very hard for your business to do business because you're required for it. And it's so important in this day and age that people actually have a self-care program where they look after themselves, where they spend time looking after their body, and they actually put time aside, because what I see a lot is that people end up working like 10, 12, 14 hours a day, and initially they start doing it for like 1 day or 2 days or 3 days, and next thing it becomes a habit, and they've nothing else going on in their life, and it ends up being that you work all the time, and it as you were saying earlier, it ends up taking out the joy out of your life. And then when the joy comes out of your life and comes out of your business, you don't really enjoy it, you're not creative, you're not spontaneous, and it's looking for that creativity, it's looking for that joy, it's looking for that spontaneity, it's looking at what creates that continually.
Yes, and doing that will bring you a lot of joy, a lot of fun, and a lot of ease. It's very important to get ease in your life. And I learned. I watched a video from Simone Milazas earlier in today, and she was saying it's not about being lazy; it's about getting ease and be easy. So I thought it was a good topic, and to have that in mind. So looking for ease, and it's not about being lazy, but looking for ease. It's very important to have ease in your life, so you get joy, you get fun, and you can ask for ease. Nothing has to be complicated and hard. You can just ask for ease and get it. Yeah.
Yeah, that's so true, and it's being willing to receive that ease, that sense of ease, that sense of joy in your life, because the more we're willing to receive, the more the universe can give to us. And it's like when we actually are ourselves and just be ourselves with barriers down, we're not resisting anything. The ease is there all the time, and it's like you can do so many things, create so many things, and make so many beautiful things. So yeah, it's so true.
Yeah, exactly. And when you are joyful, when you get ease in your life, so you can go to work with more ease and then be more focused and get more new ideas, more creativity, and be more useful, I could say, in your company. If you are an employee, for example, you can be a better colleague, for example, or if you have your own company, get more ideas, get more creativity, get more contact to other people, to get some partnership or something like that. You can change your business as well when you are more, when you get more ease, when you have more joy, and you can change things easily and get more fun and get more money.
Yes, Laurence, so lovely to talk.
Thank you, Paul.
Merci beaucoup. Au revoir.
Merci. Thank you, Paul. Bye bye.
Bye bye.